Okay, so that's talking about the cubic function. Okay, now we're going to talk about the cube root function. Cube root function. Okay, cube root function again. Cube root of x. That's oops. Cross that out. F of x equals the cube root of x. That's the parent function. Okay. I'm going to put domain and range. Just use the letters. Domain and range. Okay, is just, again, negative infinity to infinity. I'm going to draw the graph so you can see it. Okay, the cubic root goes to the origin. Remember, it's like an S. Okay, domain and range, negative infinity to infinity. Okay, increasing. Same thing from negative infinity to infinity, because it's always increasing, it's not decreasing. Okay, decreasing, this would be like going downwards. Okay. Okay. There's not a constant. So you have your x-intercept, y-intercept, both at 0, 0. That's where it crosses the x and y axis. Okay. And then the end behavior. Talk about that. End behavior. It's pretty much the same thing. As x approaches negative infinity, f of x approaches negative infinity. As x approaches infinity, f of x approaches infinity. Okay. You have about 30 more seconds to copy the rest of it down. Okay. All right, now we're going to talk about inverse of cubic functions and cube root functions. Inverse, inverse of cubic functions and the cube root functions. Okay. Okay, so remember, to find the inverse, switch y and x. Okay, find the inverse, switch y and x. Okay, so let's say I take the parent function of a cubic function, right? So I have y equals x cubed. So here we're going to put inverse of cubic function. Okay, let's say that I have y equals x cubed. Okay, well, I got to flip them to find the inverse. So it should be x equals y cubed. I got to get y by itself. Okay, to get y by itself, you just take the cube root of y, cube root of x. This cancels out, so you're left with the cube root of x equals y. Okay, so what do we notice about that? It looks exactly like a cube root function, our parent function of a cube root, right? So we did the inverse of a cubic function, and it ended up being the cube root function. Okay, so inverse of a cubic function is the cube root function. Okay, start that one because that's important. All right. Now let's say we did it the other way. Let's say we take the inverse of a cube root function. Okay, so we have y equals cube root of x. Okay, to find the inverse, you got to flip them. So you have x equals cube root of y. Okay, to get rid of the cube root, right, to get y by itself, just take it to the third power. To one side, do to the other side. So you got x cubed equals y. Well, that looks exactly like the cubic function. So inverse of a cube root function is the cubic function. Okay, inverse of a cube root function is the cubic function.
Coach, could you slow down? I gotta write it down.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you some time right now.